Hello dear viewers, I'm NotaCleverWolf and let's talk about tilting.
No, I queued the wrong thing! Okay, I'm actually quitting this game. I'm quitting this game. Holy, uninstall, Alt F4, leave game. Okay, it's fine.
Oh god, I'm being cheesed. Help me. Alright, well,
Are you?
lane's lost.
That, thank you very much. See you in 5 minutes again, bro.
And then, look at this. I pause it here. Look at that. Excellent stuff. That definitely didn't hit him. That was a complete... Thank God that minion was 10 paces behind him so he could block the skill shot from me. That's definitely fair. That's definitely legit.
Ich hab kein TP für Bottom oder sowas. Oh, die kommt. Mit Kragi. Aber kein Ultimate.
Treffer ist auch hier.
Nice. Alter.
Wir sind alle Botlane, lass einfach Mitte durchpushen.
Oh. Das war so die Definition von Spaß.
What you just saw are some very nice examples of tilting. Tilting is a negative emotional state that some, or to be honest, many gamers get into from time to time. In this video, we'll talk about tilting in general, but we'll use League of Legends footage to demonstrate, and there are actually a few reasons why League of Legends is a game that's prone to tilt the players. So, let's start.
Sollst du nicht, du bist alleine.
Jo, für so ein Ding? Ich dachte...
Na, ich war halt noch nicht, ja, das ist halt das Problem so. Ich habe keinen Flash, das heißt, ich kann nicht in 2000 Range von mir.
Let's start by looking at what exactly tilting is and when you feel tilted. So, tilting is a negative emotional state in which you feel anger and frustration, and you're actually so angry that you don't really want to play the game anymore. You would rather do something else or just end the game right now, just go outside and play, go play Tetris, whatever. It's not directly rage or anger, but it's more frustration. Tilting has components of anger and rage, but I think the frustration part is the most important in there. So, since you already saw a few examples of tilting, let's have a look into how tilting exactly works and what happens when we tilt.
Komm her ran.
Junge, die chasen die wie Teufel.
Ja, weil ich nicht
Melf
zu
hat
sehen bin,
eine
wenn ich zu sehen bin nicht.
Ich mein den.
Ich geh doch auch ohne mich.
Ey.
Wir sterben dafür jetzt. Der
Oh, Johnny.
Irgendwas hat er nicht.
Easy.
Und jetzt fightet.
Lass den killen, kill Malfight.
Der hält nix aus.
Aber er hat Holz! Ja, danke! Mann! Mann! Ich hätte einfach Baseboarden können, weißt du?
In order to understand why we tilt, we first need to understand why we actually play the game. We play the game to have fun. We invest time and money into the game, and we expect to be rewarded by having fun while playing it. In the case of League of Legends, we are expecting to have fun while playing a 5v5 competitive, skill-based, online MOBA PvP game. Well, it's a long thing. That means we are playing against other players, we're expecting that our skill is the determining factor of who's gonna win, and we're expecting to have fun with that. That was the first point. The second point is, we're also expecting to perform well with our chosen champion in our chosen role. Means we're expecting to be a good player. And the last point is, we're expecting to win a game. These 3 points are our expectations when we start playing the game. Now, what happens if those expectations aren't met?
And then hopefully he will learn his lesson, okay? It's sometimes, yeah. What's up, bro? What is up, bruh? He learned his lesson. He learned his lesson.
If our expectations aren't met, we're not having fun. This is causing something that psychologists call cognitive dissonance. Expecting something, but you're not getting it. And that's frustrating. If you see a little child wanting some candy and it's not getting it, it starts screaming and kicking and it's so frustrated. And that's exactly what happens to you when you game and you don't get what you want. You have certain expectations and they are not met. Well, it's not like every time you lose you start screaming and kicking like a little baby. No, that's not it. But let's imagine these 3 points, playing the game, performing well, and winning, as some kind of pyramid. Now, if the uppermost part is not fulfilled, so you play a game, and you play well, but you didn't win the game, you just lost because the enemy just played a little bit better, then you're probably not very tilted. You're probably not frustrated. You're like, good game, that was actually fun. Still a little bit. If that happens too often, like 10 times in a row, you get frustrated too. But it's not a one-time tilting event. Now, if the second part is also taken away from you, if you're just playing the game, but you're neither winning nor performing well, that's a lot more tilting for you. And if somehow the enemy manages to take away the very basic thing that you want, playing the game, bear in mind the complete definition, in playing a skill-based 5v5 PvP game, if that's not like there, then you're super frustrated right immediately. That's some kind of an important point. If either the skill-based or the 5v5 or the PvP game is like taken away from you, then that's frustrating because the basic premise that you were looking forward to is already taken away from you. So having an AFK player makes it a 4v5 game, and that's not fun for neither team actually. And if the skill base is taken out of the game by certain things, we're going to talk about that later, then you're getting really frustrated because you're expecting to perform well because of your skill. Now, let's say the enemy teams up 3-on-1 versus you. You can't win 3v1 usually, so your skill is taken out of the equation, it doesn't matter anymore, and you get frustrated because that's not what you bargained for. Same with having AFK loss or levers, or having technical difficulties, having a player that disconnects all the time, or you disconnecting all the time, or having lag. That's not what you signed up for, that's not what you invested your time and money for, that's a tilter.
Holy shit! It worked! I need that.
Not every cause of tilt is affecting us equally. There's basically two axes that you... There we got it. 2 axes that you need to imagine. Number 1 is if the cause of the tilt is perceived to be internal or external. If it's your fault. For example, a lack of skill is an internal reason, and your dumb teammates are an external reason, technical difficulties are an external reason, Riot having spaghetti code or having OP champs, imbalanced game, that are external reasons. So if the reasons for your cognitive dissonance, for your frustration are external, they are stronger than if they're internal. The second axis is if they're stable or unstable. For example, your internet connection is usually very good, but today it's not that good. So that's an unstable problem, and it affects you less as if you have the same problem every day. Stable problems are usually perceived as being worse. Now, let's see the easiest thing that could happen to you is an internal unstable cause. Today I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, and it's okay, I'm playing bad today. I can live with that. External and stable, yeah, with this shitty PC I can't play. Or yeah, my teammates are just so dumb. I just can't carry this team. My teammates, no, they are just so bad. Nothing will ever save them. No, it's bronze 5. Let's put it. Yeah. Nein, na, was machst du denn? Ja, my bad. Ich seh's ja. Nein, na, das war scheiße. Other possible sources of tilt are perceived unfair champion design, pay-to-win content, because your skill is taken out of the game if you can pay to win the game, bugs, technical problems, or if in a given situation you perceive that you have no possible counterplay, no possibility to escape the situation, as you saw in the last clip. But what happens once you go on tilt? Well, as a consequence of tilting, you usually stop playing. But especially in League, you can't. You're stuck in that game for 20 minutes, at least. You can't just leave the game. You're gonna get a ban, or your account is gonna be suspended. You'll be stopped from playing for a few more hours, so you have to play on. You're caught in a bad situation, and that's tilt. Frustrated, your expectations not being met, you're not having fun, and you can't get out of the situation. Tilted. Exactly that's what tilt is.
Okay, do you have a word?
I just use it and hit the wall, just like my flash. I want you to look at my CS and tell me you're proud of me.
Proud of you.
Fine again. Wait, I think my bard's killing himself? We are so fucked.
How fucked are you?
Look at the wave.
You are so fucked.
Yeah.
But guess.
But what are the consequences of going on tilt? Well, in psychology you can measure the consequences of any state on 4 different levels. Emotional, where you feel frustrated, anger, hopeless, you have no motivation to continue playing. On the cognitive level, which means what you're thinking, where you start thinking, oh, this game is unwinnable. You stop seeing chances to actually win the game. Your self-confidence goes down. Your feeling of self-worth goes down. Then you have a physical level where you start showing a stress reaction. Your heart rate and your blood pressure might change. You start sweating. You feel agitated and nervous. And lastly, on the behavioral level, where your behavior actually changes. By the way, did you notice that what I mentioned up to now actually matches the symptoms of a depression? Now, having no motivation, hopelessness, negative attitude towards the future, being frustrated and having a negative emotional state, that's actually what persons who are depressed feel. Of course, you can't compare being tilted to a depression, but if you ever want to get a small insight of what a depression feels like, just imagine being tilted 24/7. Go back to the behavioral level. There is different behaviors depending on how tilted you are. If you're just slightly tilted, you'll feel all that, and you'll still try being constructive. Ask your teammates for help, play more carefully, try to change the situation. As the tilt increases, you don't really want to play on, but you have to because there's a 20-minute time for surrendering, or your team doesn't want to surrender. So you play on, but you're also already starting to suffer from cognitive deficits. You're not focused and concentrated anymore. Your reactions are slow, and your judgment and decision making is poor. So what you usually do is you play much too aggressive. I'm behind, I need to make plays. Or you play much too passive. Oh, I'm so far behind, I shouldn't join the team fight. Both behaviors are wrong and will actually make your situation worse. You know that when you're tilted, you play badly. If that goes on, you start trying to cope with the situation because what you actually have is a threat to your self-confidence. It's kind of paradox. We talked about internal and unstable stressors to be the easiest to cope with. They tilt you the least. They're also the one that hurt you the most. The most difficult thing is to say, oh yeah, oh well, that was a bad play, my bad, I fucked up. You really do that every time you fail? I mean, there's the 3v1 gank, and would you really say, oh, I had a bad vision game there, I wasn't careful enough, I should have watched the minimap? Or do you think, yeah, 3v1, very fair, thanks? Be honest. So, these internal stressors are hard to cope with. They tilt you the least, but they threaten your self-confidence and your self-worth. And up to a point where you know you're now playing badly and you don't want to play the game anymore, but at least you want to keep your pride. So you have to attribute the current failure to something else to reduce the current stress. That's not a constructive way. That's where stuff goes south. But what you say is, well, thanks, GG, jungler, no help, no ganks. Oh yeah, bot lane, you just lost us the game, coming from a 0-7 top laner. You start blaming, flaming. Basically, your teammates are to blame now. And if all your teammates are performing well, then it's writer spaghetti code. Something, you'll find something that is not you that fucked up the game. And lastly, if that doesn't help and you're still more frustrated, you start escaping the situation. You can't cope with it anymore, you have to escape it. Since you can't, you just go, okay, finish fast, open mid, or you just go AFK. Nobody can force you to sit in front of your PC. Or the most ultimate escape is hitting Alt F4, quitting the game, just shutting it down, just accepting negative consequences. Yeah, I'll enjoy my report and my ban. It's okay as long as I don't have to play this game anymore. That's are the consequences of tilt.
What the
So, what do we take from this? Well, first thing is, tilting makes you play worse up to the point where you leave the game, so can I maybe tilt an enemy player to win the game? You can. It's a valid strategy. At least from my point of view. But yes, you can tilt your enemy by taunting him and insulting his mother, father, other family members, or his sexual preferences in chat. Which you shouldn't do because that's totally not good sportsmanship, and I cannot endorse or recommend that behavior because it'll probably get you banned. But let's look at how you can tilt people. There are some very good tutorial videos on return ganking and how to tilt other people by Foxdrop. I'm gonna link them below in the description, or maybe I'll try to get a card up there. I don't know if I'm able to do that. Watch those videos. They're very informative and very educational. I'm not gonna like wrap everything up back again, but you can, as a basic rule, you can tilt an enemy player whenever you destroy the pyramid of expectations that he has. The lowest level possible, of course. Well, if you win, well, yes, you're limiting the first one, but no use in tilting the player at the end of the game, right? Him not playing well, you also can't change him playing well or not. You can just play better if you're his opposing laner, but that's very much it. He'll know he still plays well, he will not tilt from that. What you can do is pick a champion or create a situation where there is no counterplay.
The Jhin, I've gotten multiple kills like that. God damn it, why is that chain link so fucking long?
That is a shit.
Oh, god damn it, dude. That's so annoying.
Always very, very fun. Very fun if that happens. Eliminate skill from your matchup by ganking 2v1, 3v1, return ganking the champion all the time until he's so far behind that his skill doesn't matter anymore, pick on one champ, because that's unfair. A jungler should divide his ganks on 3 lanes. So if you have 20 ganks over the game, let's say 21, every lane gets 7 ganks, right? You gank one lane 14 times. That laner's gonna have fun, right? Not. If he feels like he's playing bad, he will start playing worse, which makes him feel more which makes him tilt even more, because now his second premise is also violated. He's not playing well anymore and he notices. As a result, he'll start playing even worse, so your laner gets far ahead and you actually snowball a lane. That's what you can do, but basically 50% of all the work of tilting your enemy is done by the enemy team. Where we are at, what you can actually do to prevent you and your team from tilting. Let's look at the next video.
I don't think middle is right up. If she did, she definitely didn't use it. Okay, what's going on? Get her back. Get her back. Okay. I'll turn it into a good fight real quick.
It's fun. This is great.
Oh,
Fun. Great.
What happened? I didn't see.
Ivern?
You got Ivan. Let me cue you.
I fucking hate their team so much.
Dude, same.
So fucking much, dude. Every single champion on there is goddamn AIDS. And I'm actually getting a little bit of legitimate frustration.
Yeah, Ivan is a champ, not the funnest to play against. Is this guy trolling?
So, how can you prevent tilting? Well, at first you need to be aware of what's happening inside you. Let's say you just had the most frustrating experience in the first half of the game and you really don't feel like playing anymore. And that's the point where you need to take a step back and realize what you're actually feeling at the moment and what you're thinking at the moment, and that what you're feeling and thinking is not going to improve your play, nor is it going to improve your experience. You need to be aware that you're tilting and that the reason why you're tilting is actually because what you are thinking about how the game works or about the situation that you're in is wrong.
Alright. I will watch the replay to see where I went wrong and see if I could maybe be better in the future. Okay, so yep, okay, I lost a lot of health there. Probably shouldn't have taken any damage from LeBlanc, you know. I should make sure I never go anywhere near LeBlanc in the future. And let's see, okay, a flat. I almost dodged that. The stun there was quite nice. That was just unfortunate. I feel like I played that quite well.
At first, you need to be aware that the cause for the frustrating situation, usually you dying, is not an external one. It's an internal one. It's probably not for all situations, but for most situations, you're bad. There are situations where it's actually not your fault and you have to look at the overall picture. If you have a bad game, you're not to blame for every situation, but probably for a huge part of situations where you, playing better, would have made the game a less frustrating experience and maybe might even have won you the game. So, whatever happens, the first thought should be, oh, how could I improve? Was your vision game correct? Should you have been there? Usually when you're in a situation when there is no counterplay, your error or your mistake was to get into that situation in the first place. Being out of position, usually being too far ahead, and even if if they tower dive you under your own tower, if they can, you shouldn't be there. Give up the tower. Trade with another laner. Accept that you're gonna be down in CS, whatever. Or maybe you really can't change the situation and you really don't have any chance to continue playing the game because the enemy laner is so far ahead or so much better than you, in that case, accept that this player on the other PC is so much better than you that you can't play against him, and it's not the champion. It's you who hasn't progressed enough yet. So take it as a chance to learn from the game. We're not here to... I'm not trying to make you a better player. No. I'm trying to explain to you how not to tilt. And you don't tilt by accepting that the other player is just better and that it's not your fault. You're just not good enough yet. And you can change that in another game later on. We'll come to some more techniques later in a few seconds, but that's the first step. Accepting that whatever's happened could be avoided if you became better. Make it an internal cause. That hurts a lot at first. It's really, really something you don't want to do. You don't want to say, yeah, I'm not a good player. That's what you need to do in order for the other techniques to work, in you not tilting, in you, so you can have fun while playing the game. Now, be aware that counterpicking is part of the game. It's part of your skill matchup. So if there is this Riven that snowballs you every time you play against her, it was, at least in your team's ability, to ban her out. You could have picked her. You can pick another lane. You could pick a different champion. Whenever you're counterpicked, there was usually at least a tiny bit of control. And tilting is always also about the feeling of not having control. Ho, they picked Fiora. Nothing I can do here. The game is lost. GG, well played. We're still in champion select. Yeah, but if they pick Fiora, it's done. You had a chance to ban Fiora. You had chances to avoid the situation. Of course, you have to play the game now, and you probably, if you go into that game with that mindset, you're probably gonna feed. But accept that there was a chance to change it, so you're not completely without control. You made a mistake in champ select. Try to live with it. Try to improve your game further on, and try to accept that you already made a mistake. It's okay. It's not an unbalanced champ. It's a bad choice during champion select, really. And then try to reshape everything into, you had a chance to change it, you have a chance to continue playing, and if you look at LCS level, I often, don't go to LCS level, go to at the time I'm making this video, there is some Rice, and I always hear people like, oh nice, Rice, great champion design, no counterplay, he just Q, E, W, Q, 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 you're dead, you can't move, you're stunned forever. Rice has one of, at the moment that I'm making this video, the lowest win rate of all champs. If this champion had no counterplay, why would he have the lowest win rate? Why would people not pick him all the time? Because he has counterplay, because he is not overpowered, because that's just you in that situation thinking like, oh, what I'm supposed to do. It may be nothing, but it's not the champion that's OP, it's the situation that's not good for you. So, also remember that ELO, or in other games the ranking, your matchmaking ranking, whatever, is a statistic. So over 100 games you will rise or drop to the ELO where you belong. Not with 2 or 5 games, but on the long run. So if you improve, your ELO will reflect that after lots of games, not instantly. And everybody's having a bad game from time to time, so you having 5 good games does not make you, oh, I should be Diamond 1. No, you had you Bronze 2 and you just had 5 good games. You're not a Diamond 1 player. You're on your way to Bronze 1 and eventually Silver and maybe Gold. Time will tell. Also, if you're a Plat player and you're having 5 terrible games, you're not a Bronze player now. Suddenly, you're just a Plat player who had 5 terrible games. Maybe the next 10 are good. Who knows? ELO will adjust over time. That's a very important thing because it frustrates a lot of people. And again, and that's where we are again. 50% of the work in tilting you is done by the guys on your side. You die? Question mark ping! Your top lane, you don't have teleport, your team starts a fight bot lane, you could walk there, taking you 2 minutes, Or you can just continue farming and getting a tower. Question mark ping. No fight. Why were you top? Why were you not with us in the fight? You just lost us the game. Then you tilt. Because it makes you, like, at first you feel like you should be playing a 5v5, not a 9v1 game. Then you feel like others are perceiving you as playing bad. You're probably not going to win the game now. It's ruining the fun. That's a tilter. But how can you avoid that? If you have a player in your team who constantly flames, be aware that tilting is contagious. If you tilt, at one point you might start flaming and blaming in the chat too. That will tilt other players. Then everybody in your team will play badly. And everybody's going to be tilted. It's contagious. Once you notice a player who's infected with tilting, mute them. No questions asked. Mute them. They ping, ignore them. Just remember that they are in a tilted state right now. They're not in their best moment. They're not in their best condition. Just ignore them. They will untilt at some point and maybe know better. Focus on positive events. That Chaco that just flamed you really hard and insulted your mother, you just got a double kill? Well played, Chaco. Try to untilt them, because appreciating their performance untilts the players. I've seen games turn around because of a few positive comments changing like the whole atmosphere inside the team, and suddenly they teamworked. Suddenly they worked together and actually won the game. Right. Try being positive. Not overly super positive, like, oh my god, you placed the ward, that's amazing. Oh god, you got a CS, that's good. But award and honor good performance when your team delivers. Try to cheer from time to time. Instead of blaming your ADC's mom, tell a joke. Not about ADC's mom though, but just tell a joke. Just make something funny, like you're playing Morgana, Nasus is top lane, you go like, yo Nasus, want a leash? You know, like because Dog and Morgana? No? Not a good one? But if you do that, it might untilt people. One last thing. Be careful and don't die are not good hints for other players. If your 07 Vladimir didn't want to die, he wouldn't. Yes, he's being tower doved by 5 people. He just dies under tower. He's playing carefully, but the other player is just so far ahead that he can't do anything against that. Please stop dying, team. Tilts them, because it implies that you actually want to die, that they want to play bad. Don't do it. Don't say it. You're just tilting your team even more. Well, let's say you just still lost the game. It happens. Now, take a break. You lost the game, take a break, get some distance, try to sort everything out. Maybe you want to look at the replay of the game and see where things went south, where you actually made mistakes. Try to focus on you making mistakes. Try to focus on your play, not your team's play. Maybe you really are in a situation where you say like, yeah, but this Riven as a champ, there is no counterplay to Riven. She's so OP right now, you can't do anything against her. Maybe you have 2 or 3 of these champs where you just don't know what to do. There's a technique I call be the bitch. You don't know how to play against Riven? Go play Riven. Go into practice mode, go into board mode, play 5 games on her. If there is this one completely OP combo, use it. Go and use it. And there's 2 things that you might notice. Let's say there is the case where it's actually OP and it's going to be nerfed in a later patch. Yeah, that happens rarely, but usually not, and if it happens, everybody knows. But usually it's a champion where everybody more or less agrees that he or she is more or less fair. And it's just a certain combination that you can't play against, and that's why you call it OP. Play the champion. See how much skill it takes to actually do it. See how hard it is and where the weaknesses of this combination are. Ah, okay, so it takes a lot of mana. Okay, so if I watch the enemy mana supplies better, maybe I can outtrade them and win the lane anyway. Or you can try to prevent you from tilting by appreciating how much skill the enemy player actually has by pulling off that combo. Crazily Sin Insec, yeah, that's OP, you can't do anything against that. Go and try an Insec. in a 5v5 team fight, try inseking out the ADC. It's really, really hard to do, and if you try to do it and fail 20 times, and then pulled it off once, you'll notice that the enemy Lee Sin, who's now insecking your ADC out of your team, is actually doing a great job, and you can appreciate him having a lot of skill. So you don't feel like there's no counterplay, you don't feel like something is OP, and you don't tilt. Appreciating enemy performance and enemy skill is actually a good way not to tilt. Because you know, oh, that was hard to pull off. Took a lot of skill. Good game. Because, again, back to the point, if you play well and the enemy plays well, you're having a good game. Even if you don't win, you don't tilt from that. And last thing, if there's a champion really can't play against, well, ban him. Just ban him every game. I'm banning Vayne every game. Whenever I get the chance to ban someone, I ban Vayne. Because I'm just tilting whenever I see her. Because I can't play against her. She's not OP. I just can't. I tried playing her myself. Yes, she takes a lot of skill to do, and she can pull off some crazy 1v9 thingies. But hell, I just don't like playing against her, so I ban her whenever I get the chance to. Maybe when I improve in a few years and I'm a better League player, maybe I don't need to ban her anymore. But until then, I just prevent me from tilting by just banning her. Whatever, it just doesn't matter if someone else is OP, just ban her. And always remember, that's the last point on this video, you are in control. Whatever happens, you are in control. You have control over the champions that are in the game. You have control over your own skill level. You can improve and train. You have control how long you want to play the game. You can leave the game at any time. You can stop playing at any time, as long as you remember that you have the control over everything that happens inside the game. Because at the very end, no one can force you to keep playing. Yes, you're going to be punished for it, but no one can force you. You could quit at any time. You could stop playing at any time. So just remembering that you are in control of the situation just gives you the feeling that you're not helpless and stops you from tilting. Okay, that was a lot to take in. And I actually hope I helped you a little bit, and I can help you not tilting so hard in the next games. Until the next video, good luck, good game, and goodbye.